Hey, everybody, welcome to the GB Door Show. Guess who's here?
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
So this person here, her name is Roseanne DeMoro, and she's been pushing very strongly and smartly and effectively for single payer. We're close to getting it. But there's a lot of people on the left who are trying to stop it. A lot of people on the left who are trying to stop it. There's people writing articles, acting as if the nurses are the villains in this situation.
Which, can I say something real quick? It's sad that a sentence such as, we want single payer and we're close to it, but people on the left are stopping it, is a sentence that we can say and we're not kidding.
And we're not kidding.
Pretty sad.
And we're not kidding. Something that the rest of the world, Canada's had it for 50 years, almost now, single payer. They got it in the 70s, right? Yeah. So here she gave a speech at the California Democratic Party is unbelievably corrupt. They installed a pharmaceutical lobbyist as their chairperson, and they rigged the system to do it because a progressive had more votes. Kimberly Ellis, super progressive. She was ready. We all showed up to vote for her. We all showed up to vote for progressives. We thought we took over the party. Turns out they have super delegates in California inside the state party. They squashed the popular sentiment. The sentiments of the overwhelming majority of the members wanted a progressive chairperson. They squashed it. They cheated. They installed a pharmaceutical lobbyist as their chairperson. And right now, there's a single payer bill that's being killed, not fixed, not made better, not made it so it's going to pass, but being killed by the Democrats in the California Assembly. Right now, that's happening. Rendon is doing that. California Assemblyman Anthony Rendon, is doing that. So here's her speech that she gave at the California Democratic Convention. There's a part of it, and I just thought that you should hear it. Because here's a true blue, someone who's not bought. Here's someone who speaks truth to power and speaks truth with such an amazing force. She reminds me very much of Nina Turner, and she's not taking shit from anybody. And she sees through your corporate ass. Watch.
You're talking about a market. We want health care. We want public education. Isn't that what we want? So I'm asking you, Democrats, and this is an appeal, and then I'm going to leave you off. I'll leave the stage. And you'll be very glad, most of you probably, that are traditional party members, because I know how much you love us. And I'm warning you, this is actually a warning, and this is my unification speech, which is a warning, which is, if you dismiss progressive values and reinforce the dynamic status quo, don't assume the activists in California or around this country are going to stay with the Democratic Party. Millions of people are hurting. We've never had a moment like this. We all need to embrace SB 562, and if we don't embrace that, then shame on us, because every death, every person suffering is your fault, Democrats. You got the power, you've got the majorities, you can do this, right? And finally, I just want to say this word. Bernie Sanders actually asked me, I was with him last week, and he said California can make his job easy. He's fighting against Donald Trump. We've got Jerry Brown. Come on, Democrats, Jesus. I mean, what does it take? You know that Bernie is right. Okay, so last word. I want the party unified, but we're not going to unify around the status quo. We're not going to unify around consensus about nothing. It's not about nothing. It's not consensus for nothing or about nothing. Consensus for consensus' sake is over. We've lost, and we've lost, and we've lost, and we're going to win. We're going to win, and we're going to move this movement, Bernie-crats, nurses, and all the progressive Democrats, we're going to move this movement across the nation. Thank you.
So we're close in California. God damn, she's great, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man. There's no mealy mouth BS coming from her. There's no Cory Booker. I'm going to take a pause from taking my pharmaceutical money. I'm going to take a pause. There's no BS. It's complicated. It doesn't happen overnight. No, none of that BS. None of that. Oh, the nurses are lying to people. None of that BS. Let's get single payer. Let's get it done now. And if you're gonna and if you're gonna write an article about this topic, and you consider yourself to be a progressive or a lefty or a humane person, maybe you write in that article about how we can fix that bill so we can get it done. Maybe you do that. Maybe you don't kneecap the movement. Anyway, I love her. I think she's great.
Yeah, she's awesome. And, you know, if being a traditional Democrat means you oppose single payer, then it's time for some traditions to end.
Totally agree with that. That is fantastic. So she's saying right there that the progressives are not going to stay in this party. I'm not staying with the Democrats. I'm not voting for another corporatist Democrat. I don't care how bad the Republican is. I didn't vote for Hillary this time. And we didn't do it this time. We're not going to do it next time for sure. It's over. We all see now, just like Shama Sawant said on my show, that it is the Democrats that are standing in the way of progressive change in America. That if you're a progressive, that your movement will find a graveyard inside your movement. The path inside the Democratic Party leads to a graveyard for progressives. And that's what she's saying, and she's saying we're done with it, and we'll unify around a progressive message, not a corporatist message that screws over people and widens the income disparity and turns us back into medieval times. We're very close. We have a bigger income disparity than the Gilded Age right now. So I don't know how far back you got to go to find it, things more effed up than it is right now. Remember, it's the richest country the face of the earth has ever seen. We have record profits on Wall Street, record profits for corporations, just so you know. And we still can't have, who's going to pay for it? What? Who pays for it in Spain, France, Italy, Germany, the UK, Ireland, Canada, Russia? Who pays for it? What do you mean? Who's going to pay for it? So anything else you want to say about this? This was fantastic. No, that is.
I applaud how much I like how much support she had.
Yeah.
And I like the kind of like guffaws when she was like, "Oh, some of you traditional Democrats might not like us."
Right.
And you know what? I would say this though. I'd like to think a quote unquote traditional Democrat are the people that remember the party of FDR.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that's a traditional Democrat, and whatever we have now is some neoliberal sidestep that needs to end.
So yeah, Democrats should go back to being FDR Democrats instead of what they are now, which is Ronald Reagan light. That's what they are. They can't. By the way, they all praise Ronald Reagan, the guy who started this neoliberalism crap. They praise him. The guy who decimated unions. They praise him. The guy who gutted the inner cities and gave us a homeless population.
Yeah, I was going to say, you love Reagan so much. Everybody praising Reagan. I really wish they could come visit L.A. and just walk around Skid Row for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Then sing his praises.
Richest country in the world can't take care of the least amongst us. Anyway, she does. She knows how to do it. She sees through you. She sees through you. God bless her. Single payer is going to happen. And there's going to be some carnage. Some political carnage. And maybe if you write for a lefty publication, maybe you don't try to kneecap the people who are fighting for single payer. Maybe you don't try to pretend that the villains are nurses and the good guys are the people who are being bribed by the people who are being paid to keep healthcare away from poor people. I don't know. Maybe if I was gonna, that's how I run my show. I don't try to kneecap the people who are actually working for positive change in America.
What do these people think that these nurses are speaking? Are Are they thinking that nurses are like, you know what? I just don't want to work that hard, and we have to have a better program right now.
You know, and nurses they're lazy, self-aggrandizers.
And I got to tell you, when you go to the hospital and there's a nurse caring for you, they are the most important person in your life at that point, and they provide a lot of comfort. And I can't believe you know what? You tell me, nurses, where I should vote, when I should show up. I'm going to be there because I trust what they're saying. And Roseanne DeMoro, is that her name?
Yes.
She's fantastic. Huge supporter of you.
Okay, progressives aren't unifying around nothing. Just so you know. You've been warned. Hey, the next live Jimmy Dore show is July 17th. That's right, July 17th. That's a Monday in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right down here or go to jimmydorecomedy.com. July 17th, Burbank, California, live Jimmy Dore show.